winners? Let the pros show you how to make money. General Manager Al DeMarco, a regular contributor on Fox Sports, MSNBC, and Comcast Sports TV, brings over 25 years of handicapping experience to the table. CEO Steve Budin, the author of Bets, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, is the man responsible for creating the online betting industry. Together, they lead PickNation.com, your #1 source for winners.
Week 7 of the NFL season kicking off in hours, and we've got 4 new starting quarterbacks today. 12 games on the board, 4 new starting quarterbacks, 2 other starting quarterbacks who are playing at less than 100%. That's the way this crazy season has unfolded in the first half. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here along with Steve Budin, and this is the PickNation.com report, the only nationally televised pregame show that breaks down every single game from a point spread perspective. We're here to make ourselves money and to make you money as well today in Vegas. Listen, guys, I've been a professional sports handicapper for over 25 years. I've won 8 of the last 9 seasons in football.
Show off!
Yeah, well, hey, look, if you can do it, it's not showing off. It's just stating the facts. 9 out of 10 looking pretty damn good right now.
Amen.
After cashing with the Jets on Monday night. And listen, guys, I'm not one of these guys that's going to recite a lot of ATS, mumbo jumbo, and computer trends and statistics. I used to be a sports reporter. I spent 8 or 9 years covering teams on the field and locker rooms, etc. I use that experience that I gain when evaluating teams from a personnel standpoint, and that's what's always made me money over the years. Steve Budin, though, of course, son of a bookmaker himself for many, many years, went offshore to Panama and then Costa Rica about 15, 20 years ago, really created what we now know as the offshore sportsbook betting industry. And I think, Steve, the most interesting thing here about this show is that we come at every game from a different perspective, an opposite side of the fence. I look at it as a guy who is a talent evaluator and as a handicapper. You, a former bookmaker, you look at lines a lot differently.
Well, for me, really, it's all about the sources, the syndicates that I have, the connections I have from all the years of being on top of this business. It gives me a perspective that no one else has, but more important than that, it gives me an avenue to certain information that most people don't have. Now, it's not inside information it's more like people that I respect, their opinions, bettors that are consistently making money for a decade now. These are the guys that have my ear, and these are the guys that I listen to. Back to my winning ways with the Raiders this week, and when I got that call from Baltimore for the Raiders, and they told me to buy down that half a point off of 7, I was a little conflicted because we've talked about it on the show. For me, when I buy a half a point off of 7, 7's not a big number for me. 3 is, 10 is, even 6 and 4. We always talk about how big a number 4 is. I looked at that 7, but when I get the information, Al, I put all my personal thoughts aside and I roll with what's gotten me to this position. And what they told me was, at this time of the year, 7 weeks into the season, the lines are about as sharp as they're going to be. So every half a point really counts. And when you've done as well as we've done so far this season, it puts you in a position with your bankroll to take advantage and buy that half a point. And for us, well, it was a win.
Absolutely. Listen, the power of money, you're putting it to use to go ahead and hedge the odds slightly in your favor. And you look at last Sunday's card, and I've always maintained as a handicapper, and you just alluded to it, we debate back and forth. You as a bookmaker don't think it's wise to buy necessarily off the numbers I do on a consistent basis. To me, however, the thing that has made me more money and saved me more money over the years in football is buying up or down accordingly, whether you're on a favorite or underdog, when that number crosses 3, 4, 7, even sometimes 10. Now, those are the only numbers. Last week, you had 2 games that fell right on the number. You had the Oakland game at home against Cleveland. You had the New York Giants-Buffalo game where the Giants were a 3-point home favorite. Those games were absolutely begging to buy the half point. Well, your Baltimore crew, which is now 29-14 over the past 4 years.
And that's why I listened to them over my opinion.
So even though you had an opinion that you don't like buying the 7, when a guy is when a crew, a source is 28-14, and they say to buy the half point over 4 years, you buy the half point. Bingo, you won. We had another handicapper here at the site, Craig Davis, a new addition. Craig is a guy who had a 100-dime play last Sunday on the Buffalo Bills, and he clearly instructed all his clients and customers to go ahead and buy the half point up. And he said in his analysis, just in case the Giants win this game by a field goal, we walk away with a win rather than kissing our sisters with the push. 100-dime winner, number 12 out of 14 in the NFL, money in the bank. And that's why I think a lot of the viewing public and the gambling public, they don't understand that if you buy the half point and it doesn't come into play, it's not costing you anything. Yeah, if you lose, it's going to cost you 30 cents, extra 20 cents on the dollar when you're buying off the 3, extra 10 cents a dollar when you're buying off any other number. Again, it's a play that you make according to what the line is. If you're on the game, a little extra insurance.
And I'm glad you mentioned Craig Davis, because to me, being a bookmaker in this industry and seeing every gambler from every walk of life, this guy's an anomaly. You know, I've never seen a guy like Craig Davis come from a fantasy football background and apply it to gambling and win at the rate that he does. He's truly a special handicapper.
Oh, forget about the 3 straight Super Bowl wins. You look at his webpage, guys, and you're going to see his net profit in the NFL alone the past 2 years is over 600 dimes. If you were betting just $10, just a little $10 per dime unit he's released, you've won over $6,000, nearly $7,000 just since last season in the NFL alone. That's not to say he doesn't do well in other sports as well. So we'll talk more about that. We've got one of our top handicappers at picknation.com coming up in just a moment. Trace Adams joining us via video conference, talk about games. Let's talk about the first game here on the board, though, Steve. Chicago and Tampa Bay, the annual London excursion. It's a joke, but hey, they're going to continue doing this. You've got Chicago -1 in this game. Everybody sees Tampa Bay. And listen, I was in Tampa last week. I was there at Raymond James Stadium. I saw them upset the Saints. I'm still not impressed with Tampa. You had a team that went to San Francisco in a short week, got blown out the week earlier, 48-3. They come home. Drew Brees gave them that game with the interceptions. I was impressed with how Chicago took apart a bad Minnesota team on Sunday night.
Yeah, I think Chicago played a complete game, both sides of the ball, defense, offense, passing the ball, running the ball. Tampa Bay, I can't seem to figure them out. Anytime teams go to London, you never know how that's going to affect each individual team. But if you look at this game, and if it was played on a neutral field in America, I think the Bears would be 3-point favorites. I don't understand why Tampa Bay or the 1-point line here doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to go with the Bears here, pretend it's on a neutral field in the U.S., and use the power of the line.
I absolutely agree with you 100% because the Bears are certainly the last 2 games, actually the last 3 games. They've got a Matt Forte involved in the offense much more. Jay Cutler, shorter drops, and of course he plays behind a leaky offensive line. Tampa Bay does not rush the quarterback well. And, this is an advantage here, obviously, for Butler. Plus, you can run on this Tampa defense. So I think Forte has a big game. I love Chicago there.
Yeah, you give Cutler time, you're going to get in trouble.
Absolutely. Guys, when we come back, we're going to talk to Trace Adams. We're also going to give you all the details how you can win $300 of my money playing fantasy football. Again,
almost got you this week.
Almost finished number 2. This guy finished number 2 at draftstreet.com. Those details coming up. Plus, we're going to take a look at Washington, Carolina in just a moment as the picknation.com report returns in just a couple of minutes with the rest of your NFL previews. Want to save over $600 today? Want to get the plays of all 10 picknation.com handicappers today for free? I'm talking over $600 of football action free today, no strings attached. Hi everyone, Al DeMarco here, General Manager of the world's largest online sports gambling community, picknation.com. Right now, you can get the plays of all 10 handicappers at picknation.com for free simply by using our 1-day free all-access pass. And free really means free. Just go to picknation.com, click on the free 1-day all-access pass, and you'll get all the plays of all 10 handicappers for free today. That's over $600 of action on the house. Why am I doing it? Because I'm that confident that I built a staff of the nation's premier handicappers, guys that can make you money this season. What better way to prove it than by giving you all their action today for free, no strings attached. What are you waiting for? Check out the free 1-day all-access pass right now over on picknation.com. Hi guys, Al DeMarco here, General Manager of the world's largest online sports gambling community, picknation.com. Guys, I've been a professional handicapper for over 25 years. Hell, I've been gambling even longer than that. Listen, over that time period, I've had a nationwide radio show, I've had my own tip sheet publication. You've seen me on Fox Sports, on Comcast, MSNBC. You've heard me on radio stations coast to coast. Why? Because I have an opinion, and I have an opinion that people respect. Listen, guys, every single day you can come to picknation.com and you can watch my free daily video report. I like to have fun because it's more than just about winning and losing. You're going to get my free picks backed by in-depth analysis, and there's more. I've got free money-saving discount coupons that'll save you $5 off your daily purchases, and I've got free sample offers as well. That's all available watching my daily video report at picknation.com. No purchases necessary. You don't have to register for anything. Check it out, daily video report over at picknation.com.